I've talked about film adaptations before. Those were generally about films that were adapted from books and plays. Today, I want to start a Friday series of alternative adaptations. Films that were developed from concepts rather than stories. Concepts like toys, games, theme park rides. Today's film was adapted from a board game, Clue. Now, I was very young when I first watched this movie and I had no idea that it was a period film. Just realized this when I watched the film again for this video. This film not only successfully took a board game and made it into a movie, they took a board game and made it into a really good locked house murder mystery. The mystery was compelling and the movie was hilarious. Here's something else I didn't know. The game's original name was Cluedo, and it was first manufactured in the United Kingdom in 1949. The object of the game is to determine who murdered the game's victim, where the crime took place, and which weapon was used. Each player assumes the role of one of the 6 suspects and attempts to deduce the correct answer by moving their piece around a game board set up to look like the rooms of the mansion, and collecting clues about the circumstances of the murder from other players. So, by the end, the winner would say something like, Professor Plum in the library with a pipe.
I say it was in the kitchen with the wrench by Miss Carlos.
He's dead in the library with a bloody lead pipe.
Knife.
Oh, right. The killer is Mr. Green.
A group of people are mysteriously invited to a dinner at a secluded mansion.
Do come in, madam. You are expected.
Do you know who I am?
Only that you are to be known as Mrs. White.
Yes, it said so in the letter.
They are each given pseudonyms to go by to protect their identities.
May I take your coat? It is Colonel Mustard, isn't it?
No, that's not my name. My name is Colonel.
Sir. But tonight, you may well feel obliged to my employer for the use of an alias.
Basically the names used in the game. Professor Plum, Colonel Mustard, Mr. Green, Mrs. White, something Scarlet, and I forget the last one, Mrs. Peacock. Everyone there either works for or is somehow connected to the U.S. government.
I work in Washington, too.
Washington, so you're a politician's wife?
Yes, I am.
I work for UNO, the United Nations Organization.
Another politician.
You're not going to mention the coincidence that you also live in Washington, D.C.?
How did you know that? Have we met before?
I've certainly seen you before. But does anyone here not live in Washington, D.C.?
I don't.
Yes, but you work for the United Nations. It's a government job. And the rest of us all live in a government town. Anyone here not earn their living from the government one way or another?
And everyone there is being blackmailed by a mysterious person.
My letter says it will be to your advantage to be present on this date because a Mr. Body will bring to an end a certain long-standing, confidential, and painful financial liability.
Outside of the suspects, there are a butler, maid, and cook. And later, the blackmailer shows up and is called Mr. Body, as in dead body, the first victim of the night.
He's dead.
What?
Slowly, one by one, other people died. The cook, the maid, outsiders who came to the mansion during the night, and everyone dead was connected to the blackmailing conspiracy somehow. By the end of the night, the butler leads the suspects in a hilarious recounting of the night's events in order to reveal the murderer.
Very well. I know who did it.
You do?
And furthermore, I'm going to tell you how it was all done.
I asked you for your coat, and I recognized you as Colonel Mustard, and I prevented you from telling me your real name because I didn't want any of you to use any name other than your pseudonym, and I introduced myself to you as the butler, and I ran across the hall to the library.
And to make a long story short,
Too late!
one by one you all arrived.
Now here's the kicker. There are multiple endings to Clue. If you watch the movie now, it includes all of the endings. But back when it was in theaters, they sent different endings to different theaters.
The gun is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the gun is the murderer.
Brilliantly worked out, Wadsworth.
The gun is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the gun is the murderer.
Very well.
The gun is missing. Whoever's got the gun shot the girl.
I shot her.
And so many people did not see the same ending. It was actually a kind of brilliant idea. A murder mystery that had an ending, but yet remained a mystery. Brilliant, just brilliant. So I looked up the filmmakers and saw that the story was credited to John Landis, who directed An American Werewolf in London, Thriller, and Coming to America. The script was credited to Jonathan Lynn, who directed My Cousin Vinny and The Distinguished Gentleman. So great talent behind the camera. In front of the camera was a cast of comedic legends. Leslie Ann Warren, Eileen Brennan, the ever so great Madeline Kahn, Colleen Camp, Martin Mull, Michael McKeon, Christopher Lloyd, and Tim Curry. This was one of those instances where everything in the filmmaking turned out right. I don't think it did well in the box office though. Back then, word of mouth was very important to a movie. And their word of mouth was people arguing over the ending of the film. It should have convinced more people to go back and rewatch the film. But instead, I think it killed its momentum. Eventually, it became a cult classic, and people now recognize it for its comedic brilliance. My favorite part of the movie was when Madeline Kahn was called out as a murderer, and her response was hilarious.
I hated her so much. Flames on the side of my face.
And the most brilliant part? Yes, I'm going to keep calling this movie brilliant. All of the different endings fit.
FBI. That phone call from J. Edgar Hoover was for me. I told you I didn't do it!
Which is probably one of the reasons why it caused so much confusion when it came out. Clue was the first successful adaptation of a board game. It shows you how you can take the elements given to you and flesh them out into a compelling story. Something the other adaptations in my series has done as well. Come back every Friday this month so we can talk about other alternative adaptations done right. Have you ever played Clue or watched the movie? Tell me about it in the comments below. Check the description for links to my book, merch, and Facebook group. Or you can support the channel by donating to Ko-fi, Cash App, or Super Thanks. You can also join my membership or get some Fantasy Nerd merch in the links below the video. Thanks.